Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news and analysis. Let's bring the action to you guys today. We got a lot to cover. We got some news. We got the analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. We're going to talk about some ZBAC and more, so make sure you guys spam that like button, hit that share so other people can spam the like button. All right, update. France charges 25 suspects, including 6 minors, over crypto kidnapping. It tips 18 are in pre-trial detention after multiple abduction attempts. So this is pretty crazy. You know what I mean? This is kind of a big deal, kind of spooky, if you will. This is, taking things obviously way too far. Obviously. All right, USDT increases its market cap by more than $5 billion versus its main competitor in the last 30-day, Tether CEO claims. And to me, it's funny. It's just like how quickly the narrative can change, right? And if you've been around for any period of time, the narrative is always like Tether is a scam. Tether is going to depeg from the dollar. Tether, FUD, Tether this, Tether that, right? And that's always the flavor of the week, every pullback that we get, it seems like. And how quickly the narrative just shifts, right? We just forget all about that, forget all about it. And we're on to the next thing, to whatever we can perpetuate to move our narrative forward as to why prices are doing certain things and why they're not. So I find it very interesting that, the Tether FUD seems to have dissipated, and we're just on to the next flavor of the month. Tron mainnet block production briefly halted due to a dispatch error. The issue was fixed, and a full report is coming soon for that. So I'll keep you guys up to date on that. That's a big deal, and we never want any. I don't like it when the blockchain, the mainnet, halts. It's never a good thing. It's not a good thing for Ethereum. It's not a good thing for Solana. It's not a good thing for Sui. It's not a good thing for Tron. That is not what's supposed to happen. That's not what it means to be decentralized. If you could just halt the entire network, not a good thing. But I'll keep you guys up to date on that for sure. Bitcoin ETF inflows overtake gold in May. So 5.25 billion of net inflows for Bitcoin and 1.58 billion of net outflows for gold. So it's hard to overstate how big of a deal that this is. And again, it's the sleight of hand. It's pay attention to tariffs as BlackRock is buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. Pay attention to what Mr. Orange Man is doing as BlackRock is buying Bitcoin and Ethereum at record rates. Do as they do, not as they say. And it's the same thing that's being perpetuated to us constantly. But this is a massive deal. Obviously, the market cap of gold is like $20+ trillion. So there's definitely some ground for Bitcoin to make up on that front. But this is definitely a step in the right direction for Bitcoin, which obviously would be the entire market. Okay, my God. Coinbase partners with Indradio to fight crypto-fueled cybercrime targets. Illicit use of digital assets. It's the old, create a problem that doesn't exist and we'll help you solve that problem. So I'm a little bit skeptical of this. We'll keep an eye on it. I mean, obviously it's a step in the right direction to help with security and all these things, but it just seems like, I don't know. It seems like I'm always skeptical of Big Brother telling me that the problems are fixed that they caused. I'm always a little bit skeptical of that, but we'll keep an eye on this and see what comes of it. All right, this is a big deal. Inflation is dropping. It goes below the target, the Fed's target of 2%. Also, there's rumors, the word around the campfire. Cannot confirm nor deny. But the word around the campfire is that Jay Peasy is going to be resigning. So we'll see what that happens. I know that him and Mr. Orange Man do not get along, and so we'll see if that's true, if there's any merit to that or not. I imagine that would mean a big thing. I imagine that would mean rate cuts if he were to step down, because he seems like the last frontier on holding off on rate cuts. But we'll see, because it would have to be an Orange Man appointed person. So we'll see. But it is below 2%. So it's definitely a step in the right 2%. By the way, like how they measure inflation is such a scam in itself. But how they're measuring it, how they are articulating the data, it is below 2%. So we'll see. And we'll keep an eye on if he actually does or doesn't step down. Almost no Bitcoin are left on exchanges. So we're seeing record outflows of exchanges for the amount of crypto that is on Bitcoin, and for Ethereum. This is a big deal. So what this means is, and we've been talking about this a lot of the exchanges, they use or a lot of the institutional investors such as BlackRock and Fidelity and Chase and all these big major players, they use a lot of over-the-counter sales, and the over-the-counter sales are coming from the exchanges. And if there's no supply left, again, it's the old sleight of hand. Look over here at the tariffs. Meanwhile, no crypto, no Bitcoin, no Ethereum is left on the exchanges, or at least record lows. And this definitely has an inverse correlation with price. Because it's simple economics. Price equals supply plus demand. If there is no supply left to sell and people are buying, that will cause the price to go up, and that will cause a supply squeeze. And this is maybe not even maybe, extremely quiet. Crickets on this matter. All right, here's a live look at Bitcoin all-time high versus the altcoins. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is a meme. But, it embodies how retail feels at the moment. Like, we don't care, Ski, that Bitcoin's at an all-time high. We don't care that Ethereum's up 100% since April. We're in alt season. And for that, let's get into it with the charts and the coffee, although I don't have any coffee today. So let's start it off with Bitcoin. Currently sitting at $5,568. And I said that this was support, and it looks like we've had support off of there and having a nice little bounce. On the 5-hour chart, we've also had a cross to the upside. This is a big deal. Every time that we've had a cross to the upside, we've had a pretty decent sized move from Bitcoin. We definitely see a stronger correlation with Ethereum, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Whiskey in charts and TA, right? But I think that Bitcoin is going to reconsolidate, reaccumulate. We got pretty oversold here, and it's going to start to push towards the next thing. Again, I don't think that Bitcoin is the play. Like, we might have another 50%, maybe 100% left in Bitcoin. It's that last 100%, though, is the crazy. And what I'm seeing from retail is like every little pullback we get, it's like, dang it, see, I told you, Ski. I knew better than to trust it. And this is what's called disbelief. Okay, make no mistake about it. This is disbelief. And I want to point your attention, and I said this yesterday, Ethereum could not even get a lower low, bro. We couldn't even get a lower low. We're making a giant bull flag for Ethereum. And again, cross to the upside on the RSI. This is a big deal. Let me show you the last few times that we've had a cross. So we had a cross right here to the upside, and we immediately saw, I believe this was a 14% move. Yes, 14% move on Ethereum immediately after getting the cross to the upside. Same thing over here. We got a cross to the upside on the RSI immediately, followed by a 17% move. And literally, that's what I think at a minimum is going to happen is we're going to test again the top of this bull flag, the top of this parallel channel. That's what I think that Ethereum is going to do, and we'll see if it actually gets through it this time or not. But I think that we got about another 14% move or so for Ethereum that's going to take us in the very short term to about $2,800. That probably was it for Ethereum as far as downside pressure. Tomorrow, Jerome Powell's supposed to speak, so I imagine there's going to be some volatility. But that is, I'm going to be keeping my eye on that. Bitcoin dominance, though, sitting at 64.49%. We're just fighting with the 702 Fibonacci retracement. And to me, this is just your dead cat bounce from the top to the bottom to the 702. And you'll look, we're about to get a cross to the downside for Bitcoin dominance. Here is the last time we got a cross, and we can see on the 5 hour is what I'm looking at. We immediately got a 1.5% move. The time before that was over here, and we had a huge move. This one was a little bit higher. We'll see what it does. This was a pretty big move in the altcoins. We're talking 5%. So we'll see. This definitely, we're about to get across to the downside on Bitcoin dominance on the RSI. And I think that bodes with what Ethereum is telling us right now at this moment in time. As far as XRP, we're just reconsolidating, reaccumulating here. Again, I've talked about this. This trend line has been at play for a long time. Okay? And I said that I thought that we were going to get caught here, and that looks like it's what's happening. We'll see. This is a pretty critical level for XRP. If it doesn't hold here, I anticipate it to come all the way back to $1.80. That's not necessarily what I'm predicting. What I'm predicting is that we are going to hold here, and we're going to go up in the short term to about $2.43. I do think, though, if we get rejected and we do roll over, that's when I'm willing to add to my spot position on XRP. My average price is like 30 something cents. I DCA'd for 5+ years, and I exited at $3.33, 40% of my XRP. If the opportunity presents itself and we get back to $1.80, that's where I'm going to take my first little stab at accumulating on my spot position, but I don't necessarily think it's going to happen. Let's take a look at ZBEC. I know everyone, that's like the talk of the town and what everyone just like, should we buy now, Ski? And my answer is no. We've already hit my first target. This is clearly Wyckoff accumulation over here, where it gave you a year of this price. A year of this price. Let me say it again, because I don't think you heard me. ZBEC gave you a year of this price before it went vertical. This is textbook Wyckoff accumulation. Your markdown, your accumulation, your sign of strength, your back test. This is as textbook as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. That is textbook Wyckoff accumulation. Here we go. That's what ZBEC did. Tell me that is not the same chart that ZBEC showed us. And then what did it start? It started the markup phase. Should you buy the phase E? No, you should not. That's not financial advice. We already hit my first target, which was half of a penny. We are within spitting distance of my second target, which was 0.7 of a penny. Okay? This is what I anticipate for ZBEC. We might get to a penny. Maybe. Plausibly get to a penny. That is, you're talking another 38%. Guess what? Bitcoin is going to do that. If you made your position on ZBEC over a year ago, when it gave you an entire year to catch this nice little 7x, when it gave you an entire year of this price to catch this 7x, congratulations. Bravo. Now's the time to take at least your initial profit, initial investment back, maybe in a little bit more. If you're not positioned in ZBEC, I would not add a position here. I would not. Because the next phase is distribution, and you're going to come back down into reaccumulation. In all likelihood, you're going to backtest the prior range. That is the highest probability. So, with that, let's get into your guys' questions, comments, and concerns. And I just realized I did not record this. So that is very unfortunate, but that's okay. Chain link. All right. That sucks. I meant to record that. Dang it. New setup. All good. All right. Hey, yo, you got to admit, it's a little different this time. What's your take on ADA? I like ADA a lot. Alvarado, my targets are $2, $4, $6, $8. Bye, pal. The BitBoy looks like a straight criminal, literally. What's up, gang members? I hope XRP drops to $1. If it does, that's where I'm going to add a big position on XRP. For sure. I'm concerned. That's great news, brother. Beard looking strong. Beard game is on fleek, as they say. I don't know who says that. Will alts move upwards after last Friday dips? How's it going with Solnic? Solnic is my top 100x play, period. The top 100x play, period. There is no second best. We're up a little bit on the day. Looking very, very good. Looking very strong. Still holding this uptrend of higher low structure. We've already had a clear breakout and a back test. The next thing, in my opinion, is we're going to make a plunge at least to the 702, which is going to be about $8.5 million market cap. And then we're going to start to get to the parabolic levels. Even on just this Fibonacci, you're looking at $40 million market cap. Ultimately, over the course of the bull run, I think that Solnic gets to 10 cents, $1, $5.89. Those are my targets. And I think, I've said this, 7.5 cents minimum, or I will shave my beard. Bro, Pepe, please. We'll take a look at Pepe. I don't think I've looked at Pepe in a little bit. Actually, let me move this over here. Don't think I've looked at Pepe in a minute. I don't mind this, actually. So I'm looking at the market cap on the daily. We've had a clear downtrend. We had clear Wyckoff accumulation. This is your selling climax. This is your secondary test. And then you start a little uptrend. You get your sign of strength to the 382, back test to the 236. That looks pretty good on the macro. Really good, actually. Retracement is about $9.4 billion market cap. And then parabolic is about $25 billion market cap. As far as ROI goes, Gav's dad, thank you for the tiny diny and the hat and mustache. Yeehaw! You're looking at 1x as high as a 5x. So 1 to 5x for Pepe. Can you look at Zeus on ETH? Hey, Ski, do you think Sandbox is a good play? Not really. Not really. There's a little bit too much inflation for me on Sandbox. It looks okay, but I'm not like super excited about it. Let's see if I can find Zeus. ZE. Yeah, I'm not like super excited about that. This looks okay. I'm not sure what the market cap on this is. Retracement is about 80 cents. Parabolic is about $2.60. 10%. Hey, AA Ron. I will pray that you will never have to shave your beard. Shiba, 5 to 10x. Do you think it's a good time to buy Algorand? Algorand's a decent value here. $2.22 is my targets. Trying to accumulate 1 million Solnic. That's a good starting spot for sure. Quant thoughts. I like Quant. Quant kind of does its own thing, right? Quant just does its own thing. But my targets are 300 minimum. 700 is the highest probability, and it could get as high as 13. Pepe this dog. I can't do that, bro. I can't do it if it's not on TradingView. Sorry, bro. TikTok be hating. Top values as of the time of recording: Solnic, HNT, Rose, ICP, Shiba, Dent, VeChain, Naka, IOTA, Flux, Theta, Krill, Suki, Raven, Dynex, Dot, LCX, Sauce, Hee, Crow, Phantom, News, One, ADA, Link, XYO, Fat Cat, AR. Coffee says ZBCN was called early. Nobody wanted to buy but me and a few others. That's true. Coffee was definitely talking about ZBEC at the yearly price that it gave you. And congratulations on a 7X. I think maybe we got another 40% left in it. Hopefully you've taken healthy profits. I would definitely not be adding to your position at this point for sure. Can you do Brett? Bro, thank you for the... I don't even know what that is. The dog. What the dog doing? Appreciate that, brother. You savage. Bro, what the... There we go. If Sonic is your number one, what's your second biggest conviction? What's the time horizon that we're talking here? Also, like, what market cap, right? I could give you top 5 convictions, and I'll do a mixed bag of market cap. How about that? So, Solnic is my highest number one 100x play. I also have high convictions in Hee and Fat Cat. I'll put that as 2. I have high convictions in Flux. I have high convictions in VeChain. I have high convictions in Dynex. So there you go. Those are some of my highest convictions as far as like charts, TA, value, and fundamentals all combined. I like Chainlink. I like a lot of them. LCX, please, prediction 3 to 6. No, my target for LCX is $1.11, as high as $2.22. Chainlink ski. I like Chainlink here. Chainlink is long-term convictions too. Like, we could separate that. Like, high conviction long-term bags. It would be Solnic, VeChain, Chainlink, Flux, Bitcoin. Those are some high conviction long-term blue chips, if you will. NCT, Polyswamp, Please Ski. I think we looked at this one. I think I said I like NCT. There's a little... Is there inflation on this? I don't remember. All right. This has a really good-looking chart, for sure. And we're at a lot of support here. Lots of support here. This is a good buying opportunity, I would say, for NCT. It's already hit the full-on retracement. The next is going to be price discovery, which is 26 cents, as high as 42 cents. I would be shocked if we get below this. There's a lot of support over here. And we're on top of this. Yeah, I don't think that this low is getting taken out. ICP prediction, still the same. My ICP is $38 minimum, $100 medium, $140 is my parabolic. Is VeChain a good buy right here? I think so. We'll take a look at VeChain's. Is Solnic staking safe right now? Solnic staking is safe right now. There's going to be an update soon, which is going to lower the yield on 90 days. Because the update is going to have it be, it's going to be 3% for 90 days. It's going to be 7% for 180 days. It's going to be 15% for 365 days. And it will be 31% for 2 years. So there you go. When update? Very soon. We're still working on that. Is NCT a good buy? I think so. I think it's a solid play here. Love you, brother. Love you too. All right, let's check out CFX. Make sure I spam that like button, hit that share so other people can spam the like button. I don't love this. This is still making new lows. I mean, you could make a case it's in accumulation. This kind of looks like high inflation. Let's see. Let's go on the market cap here. CFX. All right, FTV is 390. No inflation. Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. It looks like they definitely had past inflation though, because this went already parabolic in. Oh, that's what it is. That's what happened. All the supply is circulating, but there definitely was past inflation. We can see here. 2021, this went parabolic. I don't need to pull a Fibonacci to know that this is the 2618. That's a parabolic run from here. And we look at price. This is just a little teeny blip in the radar. So there was a lot of inflation somewhere from here all the way over here. The inflation is done, however. Wow. Whoa, woonga. So that kind of sucks. This blip right here was all full on parabolic in the so I would go off of this right here. Parabolic would be 2.47 cents. If it's going to make a move, it's going to take some time. You're on the wrong chart. Okay, but my point is still true about this. I might be on the wrong chart, but the point still remains. I'll look at a new one. There we go. We'll look at market cap. Great. Beautiful. Ah! CFX. We can see this went, the price was only over here. This went parabolic, came up, retraced to the 0.5, backtest, reaccumulated. There's a lot of past inflation, so that's why it couldn't hold that. Retracement is a 1.47 billion. That's a 3x. I would definitely be taking profit there. Parabolic is about 5 billion. XYO. My target for XYO is still the same. I really like XYO here. It's still the same. It's 10 cents, 20 cents. This is a really good looking chart. I don't think that this is getting taken out. This is a pretty good opportunity here. Retracement in the micro is 3 cents. Retracement in the macro is 10 cents. Or parabolic in the macro. Parabolic in the, Parabolic in the micro is 10 cents. Parabolic in the macro is 20 cents. That is still my targets for both of these. Is XRP heading down again tonight? I don't think so. It's plausible that XRP goes to $1.80, but I don't think that that's probable. I think the highest probability is that we have already bottomed for XRP. Does that make sense? Hey, yesterday you looked everybody hold because of my call. Look again. I don't remember that. Velodrome. Jeff, did you just become a member, bro? Thanks for becoming a member. Yes, Savage. Appreciate you. Let's check out Velodrome. If I remember correct, weekly bearish divergence too. Careful on what? If I remember correct, there's a little bit of inflation on Velo. Bitcoin, I don't know. I'll take a look. I don't know about that, though. Yeah, decent bit of inflation on Velo. So I would say retracement is in order. That's. I don't know that it's going to go parabolic, though. I don't think Bitcoin is the move. However, I think that Bitcoin has locally bottomed here. 24 cents. I don't think it's going to take out whatever it got. 102, whatever it was. He says weekly. Listen, if you're talking weekly bearish divergence, that could take months to play out. And if you're telling me months that Bitcoin's going to correct, sure. I'm with you. I'm with you. If you're telling me months that Bitcoin is going to correct heavily, I'm with you. Yeah, he's correct. That is a bearish divergence for Bitcoin on the weekly chart. This could take literal months to play out, though. Like months and months and months. This could play out in 2026. He is correct. So this is years, bro. This has been going on since 2021. This was higher peak right here, lower peak again. So yeah, I'm with you. That's correct. Weekly bearish divergence. This could take months, if not years, to play out. I'm buying Solnic and ATR. We could look at ATR, but Solnic is my number one 100x play. Period. Jo says, if I put in 10K into Solnic, what's the low, medium, high ROI in your honest opinion? So what are we at? Half of a penny? Let's do this. Obviously, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I cannot give you financial advice. All right. Reasonably. 10K. Bare bones. 12x. 7.5 cents. So what is that? 100K? We'll round down. 100K. Bare bones. Medium case. 19x. That's a milli. So there you go. And I'll even do like just the micro parabolic level because I think we'll have multiple legs. I'll even just do from here. 6x. 60K. So there you go. 60K. 120K. 1.1. 1.9. Leroy Jenkins. What's up, bro? I love it when you talk dirty. Sonic is my biggest holding. 3.5K word. Keep DCAing. Now, this looks really good on the weekly, for sure. And we just had a cross to the upside on the weekly chart, by the way. We've been having higher low structure here. On the daily, looking very good. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Higher low again. And we had our first higher high. So I think that there's a reasonable expectation that we're going to go into price discovery on the next little push here, which we're already at this macro trend line again. So this has been at play for a little while now, and we're here again. So this might be as good as it's going to get. I'm not trying to like FOMO, whatever. This might be as good as it's going to get. XRP, please. downside I'll give you downside and upside targets. Downside targets. The highest plausibility is we're already at the bottom. That's the highest plausibility. There's a reasonable plausibility that we get to $1.80. That's where I'm going to start adding positions personally. My average price is 20 to 30 cents. So that's the context of my thinking. XRP is one of my largest holdings. That's the context of where I'm coming from. I have already accumulated for 5+ years, and then I already de-risked 40% of my bag at $3.33. Jesus. I de-risked 40%. I bought a farm with that. All right. If we pull back to $1.80, I will start adding to my position again. If we pull back to $1.33, I'm going to add aggressively. If we pull back to $1, that is the bare best opportunity I think XRP will ever give you. And I will be very aggressive there. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think we're going to get caught here. That's the highest plausibility. Upside targets over the next year. I think XRP gets to $5, $8, and $12. Low, medium, high. How's your ebook coming along? It's coming along good. That's going to be okay. I've been traveling a lot. I had lots of graduations. I have my brothers. I have my nephews to attend to as well on the 8th. Then my son's birthday is on June 9th, and my daughter's birthday is June 5th. So busy week or so. But after that, I'm going to dive fully into that and get that thing released. Especially I'm going to have my brother helping me out a lot too. So that's going to free up my time to work on the deep work kind of things like that. So ebook is coming at you very, very soon. I'm excited to bring that out to you guys. Says thank you for that. No problemo, bro. Are you watching on YouTube and TikTok? My man. I appreciate you, bro. What can XRP get to during the bear market? Those are my bear market targets. $1.80, $1.33, $1. I don't know that we're going to get it this time around, but those are my 3 targets where I'm going to start aggressively accumulating. That's probably as good as it's going to get for XRP, but I think we probably get to $5 first, $8 first. That's the highest probability to me. Is that still a higher low? I mean, super macro, maybe. Super macro. It would definitely take out all of this. Yeah, it would be. The spring of April, it would be a higher low. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. You are correct. How high can XRP go in the next bull run? It depends on how high it goes, right? The answer to the question is it depends on how high it goes and how low it goes. Let's say, for funsies, it goes to $12, like is the highest plausibility that I think it could get to, right? You could, if you want to tell me it's going to $20, that's fine. I don't think that that's plausible, but I don't think it's crazy, right? To me, $5, $8, $12, that's my low, medium, high case for XRP. But let's just say it gets all the way to my highest plausibility of $12. And then it comes all the way back to $1. That would be super painful. Let's say it goes all the way to $12 and then comes all the way back to $1. Then that would mean the next bull run, $30, as high as $40. Let's say it only goes to $8 and then comes to $1.33. That would mean $20 and $25. So I think reasonably you could say $20 to $40. Bitcoin is King says, will the bull run end by November or can it extend to 2026? I think it can extend to 2026 for sure. And again, let me put this out here because I've said this a lot. I don't think that the highest probability is that Bitcoin skips a entire bear market and just continues an uptrend. That's not the highest probability, nor is it what I'm predicting. But I think there's a reasonable plausibility that Bitcoin continues to make higher lows all the way into 2029, and then the big one starts. I think that's a reasonable plausibility. That's not what I think is the highest probability. That's not what I'm predicting, but I think that that is reasonable. But if you're asking me, does it end in November? I think that's the highest plausibility. Can it extend to 2026? I think that that's super reasonable. Yes. VeChain. My targets for VeChain are 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents. Rose. Yo, what's up, D? Diamond. Arrow did me dirty. What's your QB1 in fantasy? Oh, man. Listen, I haven't thought about fantasy for a second. QB1 in fantasy. Low-key, probably is Kyler. I think Kyler has a bounce back. 38 to 100. Yes, that's right. And I'm not giving you a range. By the way, my predictions, when you see 38 to 100, I'm not saying like somewhere in between there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying 38 or 100. Right? Either it retraces or it goes into price discovery. One or the other. It's not a range. When you see my price predictions of like 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents, so 20 to 60 cents for VeChain, that's not a range. It's 20 or 40 or 60. Tell me, Ski, why you like XRP so much? Because inflation, it has insane inflation on it. I assume because you got in the price that was so cheap. And also, I made all my determinations based off of market cap. You can see here, market cap is where I made my determinations, and we can see it got to the 1618 on market cap. Cello. I think we already went over Cello. Happy days, just tuned in. Cheers, brother. Cheers to you too, Alex. Good to see you. How do you feel about June? All right, here's my thoughts on the summer months. Hold that question, please. I want you to ask me that question in approximately 38 seconds. Cello. I don't love this chart. It's all right. Retracement. $1. Parabolic 370. All right. So the big question. So June is the month. June is the first sort of summer month, right? And the big question was, is it going to be sell in May, go away? Is it going to be buy in May, fly away? My opinion, I was on the fence for this question for a little while. And I was just kind of like, let's wait and see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the market does. Let's see what retail does. And I was very patient. I was very slow to come up with my answer. But I have waited and I have seen. And retail is not in this game. They are pissed at this pullback. They have this feeling of like, see, I told you, Ski. I knew better than to believe in this. I knew better. Which is what we call disbelief, right? So retail's not in this game. They do not believe. Even though Ethereum is making a higher low. even though the altcoin total 3, total 2 is making a higher low, even though Bitcoin is literally within the same range of the all-time high, finding support, retail does not believe. Coinbase, not even top 300. Robinhood, not even top 300. Bitcoin on Google Trends is at an all-time low. Bear market lows. You see it. Literal bear market lows. And we are within 5% of an all-time high. So, I have waited. I have seen. My thoughts are, it is buy in May, fly away. Because retail is not in the game. When retail enters into the game is over. They are not in the game. So in my opinion, this is going to be one of the most bullish summers that we have ever had. It's buy in June, ride to the moon. Again, we talked about this the other day. Everyone is just, it's the sleight of hand. That is the theme right now. The sleight of hand. The sleight of hand is what? Look over here at the tariffs. Meanwhile, BlackRock is buying $200 million worth of Ethereum. Pay attention to the Fed. Meanwhile, the exchanges are at their lowest point of having any cryptocurrency. What does that mean? Price equals what? Supply plus demand. If they don't have supply to issue people, what will that do? I don't know. How about a price squeeze? How about a price squeeze? So that's my opinion. And I've seen this movie. I've seen this movie 100 times. How does the movie go? Retail gets shook. Retail gets pissed. BlackRock starts buying. There's some scary narrative going on over here. BlackRock is buying. I've seen this movie. I've seen it. I've seen the movie. Alt not in good spot to risk reward wise. Which alts are we talking about? I would disagree because a lot of them are at their bear market lows. I don't know what you would call that. I would call it 2022. I would call it 2022 prices. Meanwhile, there are spot Bitcoin ETFs. Meanwhile, Ethereum spot Bitcoin ETFs is pending. Solana spot Bitcoin ETFs is pending. Staking ETFs is pending. XRP ETFs are pending. ADA ETFs are pending. What do you mean the risk reward? You have the prices of 2022 with BlackRock now buying, with Texas now buying, with states buying Bitcoin, buying cryptocurrency, with BlackRock buying Ethereum, with Fidelity, Vanguard, all these institutions are buying. Legislation is getting passed. You have the prices of 2022 with the clarity of 2025. What do you mean? I could not disagree more. I could not disagree more. Yes, but Bitcoin was at 16K. Okay. Again, verily, verily, I say unto you, we have bear market prices as in, imagine for a second that Bitcoin was at 16K. That is where the altcoins are. Ethereum is at the macro 236, bear market lows with the clarity of 2025. ADA is at bear market lows with the clarity of 2025. Shiba is at bear market lows with the clarity of 2025. Doge is at 2022 prices with the clarity of 2025. Yes, you are correct. Bitcoin is not the play. I say to you, Bitcoin is not the play. A lot of us are holding from December highs. I promise you on my mama, every time I was going live and someone asked me about a coin, I did this with Penlink, I did this with XEN, I did this with Landwolf, I did this with XRP. I took profit on XRP at $3.33. Anytime I saw a chart that was vertical, I was saying, if you were my brother, I would say to take profit. Now, I didn't feel that way about the whole market. But individual coins, when I saw them vertical, I said take profit. Same way about ZBCN. Tim says, so buy more is what you're saying, not financial advice. I'm DCAing heavily. So I'm just saying maybe a relief rally. Minimum of a relief rally. Minimum of a relief. I'm telling you right now, retail does not believe. Retail does not believe. That's great. That is fantastic news. The feeling right now, I'm gonna just like sum it up, put it in a little ball, and just oversimplify how retail feels right now. Okay? A little bit hopeful that Bitcoin just got to $111,000. A little bit of hope, right? Are we sure? It was just, okay, I'm going to oversimplify how retail feels and how they felt at each moment. Bitcoin climbs from 74K, not a peep. 80K, not a peep. Pissed. 90K, not a peep. 100K, not a peep. 105K, not a peep. Then we get to 111K. Wait a minute. Are we sure? Pulls back. Alts pull back. Damn it, I knew better than to trust it. See? That's why. This is called disbelief. That's where we are. You want to know where we are? That's where we are. Disbelief. See, Ski, I told you we were coming back. Why did I trust it? How can I get my hopes up? Can we just get a 2x? Everyone wants a 2x until we get a 2x. Everyone wants a 2x till we get a 2x. He said a lot of us holding from December highs. I'm still holding from December 2021 highs. Listen, I'm holding some stuff on from 2017 highs. Retail is scared because of our up and down economies. Tariffs are scaring retail. That's great. That's fantastic news. Meanwhile, while retail is scared of tariffs, BlackRock is buying at record levels. Again, you don't want to be on the same side as retail. I wish it weren't so. And guess what? I'm retail. Before you say it, I too am retail. Yes, you're correct. But I spend my entire time, my entire analysis is, what are institutions doing? Why are they doing? What is retail doing? How do they feel about the market? That is my 90% of my analysis. That doesn't mean I'm always right. I get things wrong. Sometimes I'm in the wrong flavor. But most of the time I have a good read on those two things. Most of the time I have a pretty good read what institutions are doing, what narratives are being perpetuated, what retail is feeling, why they're feeling it. Pretty good read on that. Not always. February, I had the wrong read. Most of the time, no. You got the crystal ball, brother. I don't have a crystal ball. Will VeChain and ICP ever go up 12x in the next 20 years? Next 20 years, yes. Absolutely. What's my lottery ticket? I don't know about that, bro. Solnic news. The news is there's an update coming on the staking. So right now you can just do 90 days. It's at 5%. The update is going to bump that down to 3%, but it's going to unlock 180 days. 180 days staking is going to be 7% ROI. Then there's going to be 365, which is going to be 15% ROI. And then there will also be 2 years. I don't know what it is. 720. I'm not sure what the math is. And that will be 31% ROI. So that's the next thing that's happening for Solnic. Also, on-chain is coming out. We're still working on the stablecoin, which means we're going to have our own stablecoin, which as the market cap of the stablecoin goes up, 20% reserves are going to be held in Solnic. Meaning, as the market cap of the stablecoin goes up, minimum, the market cap of Solnic is going to go up because the stablecoin will auto buy it and hold it in the reserves. It will also have Tether, USDC, Bitcoin, and Solana. That is being worked on right now. Down the pipe, too, we're coming out with Solnic DApp, which you're going to be able to lend, borrow, stake, liquidity mine, everything, what it means to BYOB, to be your own bank, which is bringing power back to the regular people. We're also shooting a documentary called BYOB, which it goes to my hometown, a small Midwestern town in Ohio. And a lot of people know about the 2008 financial crisis. Less people know that this is why Bitcoin was created in the first place. Even less people know that the remains of these small Midwestern towns. And that's what I explore in the documentary of, hey, here's where big banks left us. Here's where big pharma left us. This is why it's important to me to BYOB, because here's where they left us. They do not care about us. They're not going to. So that's my mission. That's the journey that I'm on, is to educate regular people on why it's important to BYOB and to bring power back to regular people on BYOB. So there you go. Is your price frozen on the coin when you stake it? No, it is not. If you're talking dollar amount, yes. Or no. If you're talking Solnic amount, yes. So if you stake it at $5 million market cap and then it's $10 million market cap, you still have the same Solnic. If you stake $1 million Solnic at $5 million and then the market cap goes to $10 million, you still have the same Solnic plus your ROI. So the ROI would be way more than 5% if that were the case. If you stake it at 10 million and it comes back to 8 million and then you unstake it, you have the same Solnic, you just have less dollar amount. Does that make sense? Where can I buy Solnic? You can buy it on Phantom Wallet is the easiest. Buy Solana on Phantom, swap it directly on there. You can also buy it on SetoX. You can buy it on Solflare, Crypto.com wallet, Coinbase wallet. Are you bearish on Rose now since it kept dumping non-stop? No, I'm not bearish on Rose. I think that there's a higher probability that it just retraces. You know, they have not been performing very well at all, for sure. But we're still above the spring in April. It's still just a higher low in the micro. On-chain is coming out very soon. I don't know what the holdup with them is. But the Solnic army will continue to push along. Sorry for the stupid question. Where does the stake gains come from? It comes from me in my bag. That's where it's initially going to come from. And it's also going to come from those that are, because listen, I've already given away 50 million Solnic. 50 million Solnic is what I've given away. So what's giving away some more? But at least you earned it this time. That's first. And then secondly, it's going to come from those that are impatient. Literally, this game is the patient game. Those that are impatient and they unstake their Solnic early are going to pay a penalty. That's how the game is going. So it's going to go to the pool. If they decide they want to unstake it early, they're like, I'm out. They're going to pay a penalty. And that is going to go to the pool, which is going to pay everyone else. I took a hit on that as well. When will you be able to stake? You're able to stake right now. There's an update coming on it where you're gonna be able to do one. Right now, you can only do 90 days for 5%. The update is going to lower the percentage on 90 days a little bit to 3%, but it will unlock 180 days, which will give you 7%, and it will unlock 360 days, which is going to give you 15%. And it will unlock 720 days, which will be 31%. So right now, you can stake. There's just an update coming soon on that. So we're working on that right now. Solnic is the way. Ski, if price of Solnic goes up during the bull run and it's time to retrace, like altcoins, will do where Solnic retrace if different levels go 7.5, 50 cents a buck. All right, let's say it goes back to a buck. In all likelihood, it'll probably come back to 25 cents. That's my prediction. If it goes to $5, it'll probably come back to 50 cents. That's my prediction. If it goes to 10 cents, it'll probably come back to probably 2 cents, right? Retail has exhausted a lot of its money. That's good news. Again, retail is always on the wrong side of things. What's the ticker? Carlos, the ticker is SOLNIC. ICP predictions. My prediction on ICP, minimum $38. Medium case is $100. Bull case is $140. Ski, pros and cons to staking. Pros is you're helping the entire project by because if you're staking, you're not selling. If you're not selling, that is creating a supply squeeze. You're helping the entire project. That's pro number one. Pro number two is BYOB, be your own bank, earning APY on your money, earning money, putting your money to work and earning money on your money. So those are two pros. Two cons are it's not liquid. If you stake it, it's not liquid. If you need it tomorrow, I don't recommend staking because you will pay a penalty. If you say you're going to stake it for 90 days and you unstake it day number 2, you're going to pay a penalty. So there you go. It makes it not liquid. So those are some of the cons. Coin are you talking about? I'm talking about Solnic. Ardron price prediction, bro. $0.38 for Rose. I think it is. Yeah. Retracement is $1.50 for our drum. Parabolic is $5. XLM, $1.11, $2.22. Will there be a video soon explaining how to stake? Yes. I will make a video on that. In all likelihood, it's probably going to come after the update. I might do a quick little short on it or something like that, but I'll do an in-depth video after the update. All right, guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm going to put my schedule out tomorrow for this week. It's going to be a little bit in flux because I have a lot of things this week with my daughter's birthday, my son's birthday, and I have my nephew's graduation all happening next week. So things are going to be in flux for that, but I will still be going live every day, and I will still be uploading shorts every day. I've demonstrated, no matter where I'm at in this earth, I have the capability of going live stream, and that's what we're going to keep doing. But I'll put my schedule out tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit of a, like I said, there's going to be some moving stuff around this week. But next week, when I come back, it should be the 10th of June. So I guess 2 weeks. I'm not leaving yet. But I'm going to Ohio, coming back, going to the farm. But when I come back, it'll be back to the normal schedule, which will be 4 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Saturday. That is the normal schedule. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. Those are scammers. I love you, but I'm not going to message you. If you want to get on the waiting list for the ebook, that's coming out. There's an email link that you could put your email and get on the waiting list. If you want to get a consultation with me, you can do so. It comes with lifetime access to my Telegram, which has my full course. If you want to get access to the Telegram, 2 NFTs from hedge funds get you lifetime access to that. So just send proof of that. But that is